Birmingham has a really interesting history shown in the Peaky Blinders TV series. The city's past highlighted in the show has had a big impact on fashion. Looking at how Birmingham has changed over time shows how its history and the cool fashion in Peaky Blinders go hand in hand. It's like a time capsule of style, taking us from the Industrial Revolution to the flashy 20s, blending history and fashion in a unique way. Let's talk about how this cool style came to be. It didn't just pop out of nowhere. It actually developed over time, influenced by a bunch of historical stuff. Let us dig into some of these influences and see how they all came together to create the unique and cool style that we all enjoy watching on the show. So get yourself ready for a journey through history and fashion. But before entering into the fashion street, let's quickly have a tour of the history from where this gang's fashion derived from. In the past, street gangs found sneaky ways to show who they were without getting caught by the authorities. Wearing slightly different clothes became a popular trick for them. Take the Peaky Blinders, a gang in Birmingham from the late 1880s to the early 1910s. They stood out with fancy ties, shiny buttons on jackets, bell bottoms, and those peak caps they're famous for. These special clothes made it easy to spot the Peaky Blinders in the slums of Birmingham. Peaky Blinders is a super famous show that's made a big impact in the entertainment world. It's about this cool gang from Birmingham, led by a mysterious guy named Tommy Shelby. Now, people want to bring some of that show's vibe into their everyday lives. One awesome way to do that is by wearing these special shoes called Tommy Shelby Crocband Crocs. They're not just regular shoes, they're like a piece of the show you can take with you wherever you go. So if you've seen an episode of Peaky Blinders, you know it's pretty captivating. The stories are complex, the characters are interesting, and the show is famous for paying a lot of attention to getting the historical details right. They don't just pick any random setting, they make sure it reflects the gloomy post-war industrial vibe of Birmingham. Even the outfits the Peaky Blinders wear are spot-on historically accurate. People often say that history repeats itself, and right now, the Peaky Blinders style on TV is causing a stir in how men dress in the UK. This trend has brought back an interest in thicker wool fabrics and accessories like Baker boy caps. What's interesting is that this current Peaky Blinders effect is similar to a past craze that went worldwide, focusing on English formal style. What makes Peaky Blinders so beloved? It's not just the gripping gangster storyline, it's the distinctive look of the characters. Imagine gangsters with underbuzz haircuts, woolen suits, razor blades, and their newsboy caps, and a swagger that's both intimidating and cool. Tommy and his brothers sport three-piece tweed suits, newsboy caps, detachable collar shirts, and well-tailored overcoats, reflecting the fashion of 1920s England. In each new series of Peaky Blinders, the show takes us through different years of the 1920s, a fascinating era in British fashion history. By the 1920s, the national style was moving away from the very formal morning suit. Instead, people were embracing the slightly more relaxed lounge suit, which is now a staple in formal wear. The lounge suit had wide shoulders, a loose jacket, and a hip-length cut, with 1 to 4 buttons always closed. The styles worn by the characters in Peaky Blinders aren't just for show, they subtly reflect the characters' personalities. For instance, Tommy Shelby, the gang leader, dresses with English sophistication, mirroring his ambition to be part of high society. On the other hand, his brother Arthur, the gang's enforcer, opts for rougher, heavier suits, showing his comfort in a different style more suitable for the business class. Despite their differences, both characters and others in the show are increasingly favoring the popular lounge suits. These suits, known today as standard business and formal wear, are becoming more common in the episodes. If you pay close attention, you'll notice that more characters are choosing three-piece lounge suits over the previously popular morning suits, which are now mostly reserved for very formal occasions like weddings and business events. Furthermore, in the world of Peaky Blinders, the lounge suits often sport high-waisted trousers with pleated fronts stopping just above the shoe. This design wasn't just a fashion choice, it had a practical reason. During post-war Birmingham, the sewage systems were still developing, making it undesirable for clothes to touch the ground unnecessarily. The shirting fabrics, on the other hand, featured classic white or simple stripe patterns. Coats in this era opted for heavier wool fabrics to combat the chilly and damp weather of post-war Birmingham. The style evolution was deeply connected to the British countryside lifestyle, where robust fabrics like tweed were the norm. The Peaky Blinders really like wearing waistcoats, especially the high-fronted ones with lots of buttons on the show. These waistcoats were snug to follow the fashion back then and were a cheaper alternative to fancy tie-pins. The upper-class people preferred tie-pins, but those were too expensive for the lower classes. So the Peaky Blinders and others like them chose waistcoats. Instead of pricey accessories, the lower-class guys used pocket watches or chains for a bit of style. Wearing a vest without a pocket watch was seen as not so great, even if someone had a wristwatch. The main guy, Tommy Shelby, played by Cillian Murphy, is like a fashion superstar in the show. His unique style is a big part of what makes Peaky Blinders so special. Tommy Shelby is not just smart and sneaky, he's also a fashion guru. He always looks sharp in his suits, overcoats, and flat caps. People love how he dresses so much that now there are even special shoes inspired by him called Tommy Shelby Croc Band Crocs. Fans are super excited about these shoes because they want to copy his awesome style. Croc Band Crocs shoes are famous for being super comfy and having a cool style. They got even cooler with a touch from Tommy Shelby, making them a must-have for fans of Peaky Blinders. These shoes aren't just about looking good, they're also super comfy, making them perfect for wearing every day. And let's talk about comfort, something Croc Band Crocs are famous for. These shoes have squishy insoles and are super light, making them perfect for those days when you're on your feet a lot. Whether you're strolling around Birmingham or just doing your regular routine, these shoes make sure your feet are comfy and well supported. And Alison McCosh, the brilliant costume designer behind Peaky Blinders, deserves credit for the show's massive success on platforms like BBC and Netflix. She's the one who brought back the style of the 1920s, making vintage fashion cool for today's audience. The show's impeccable fashion isn't just about aesthetics, it defines the characters. The costume designer goes to great lengths to find antique accessories and vintage fabrics to ensure authenticity. For her, costumes aren't just clothes, they're tools for actors to connect with their characters. McCosh is serious about her job, visiting auction houses to uncover items that can tell a visual story of the past. When the Peaky Blinders movie joined forces with Croc Band Crocs, it was like a match made in fashion heaven. They mixed tough city vibes with laid-back, comfy shoes to create something totally unique. People of all ages love cool style and comfort, are big fans of this combo. With everyone buzzing about the Peaky Blinders movie, fans are eager to show their support for the series. The Tommy Shelby Croc Band Crocs are just one awesome option in a bunch of cool stuff you can get. From clothes to accessories, there are tons of ways to show your love for Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders transports us to another era, not just in storyline, but in fashion accuracy. The show had a significant impact on the real world, leading to an 83% increase in flat cap sales from 2016 to 2017, as reported by The Telegraph. Young men sought underbuzz haircuts to emulate the style of Tommy and his gang. With creator Steven Knight still crafting stories in the Peaky Blinders universe, the phenomenon shows no signs of fading. After all, gangsters will always be cool. And that's all for now. Thanks for joining us in this video. If you found this content engaging, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking insights. And remember, your comments are invaluable to us, so share your thoughts below. Until next time, stay tuned for more intriguing stories.